Hanging out, chatting with Toad Duet Sprocket in town together as a band. This is a real treat. It's good to see you guys. We've seen you separately, Glenn, especially you, but it's good to see you guys as a band and get a chance to find out what it's like. You know, I'm curious. You toured together in the 90s. You're touring together now. Are there any differences? Have the relationships changed like a marriage would? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, yes. It's all very complicated. I mean, we stopped making records, I guess, about 10 years ago, and didn't play at all for maybe 5 years or something. And we've jumped back into it here and there, and often people around us would kind of make it snowball. If somebody was making a commission off of it, it suddenly would build up very quickly,
right,
and kind of get out of control, and there would be this odd feeling of pressure. And we were all, I mean, I can mostly speak for I'm particularly psycho when it comes to the band, and so as the years have gone by, the psycho part has kind of diminished, and the pleasure has returned, and it's cool to be able to get together and play a few shows and just enjoy each other's company and not have it be heavy or weird or about anything other than just playing some shows and having some fun.
Glenn, I was so struck by the quality of your solo debut. I mean, I just thought it was just like a perfect venue for your writing. Was there ever a time when you were writing that you were like, that's a Toad song?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Songs are different. I started writing, I think, pretty differently after Toad, just because, more than anything, there aren't so many voices. I mean, I have these two other singers who are, choruses were so easy because I would always count on harmony or counter melody, or we could work something out that would fill it up. And so I had to start writing songs that I could play solo acoustic, and so I wrote differently. But I mean, the way the band meshes is, obviously a totally different thing than anything else I've worked with, and it's really good to be able to go back to it and hear it around me again.
Dean and Randy, what have you been doing solo-wise?
I did the first Lapdog record with Todd, and I've recorded with some other people, and I just did some songs for a movie that just came out called The Still Life.
Oh, nice.
I co-wrote 3 songs with Joel Miller, the director of the movie, and Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish sang lead vocals on one of them, and Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses sang lead vocals on another one of my songs, and then I did one myself. And so that movie just came out on DVD last week with the soundtrack actually bundled with it, if anybody wants to check it out. It's called The Still Life.
And Randy, as a drummer, I was interested in this. Do you want to talk a little bit about what happened with your eBay thing and the drum set you sold last year? I thought this was interesting.
That's nice of you to ask. Thanks. Last year, when we toured last year, kind of in a condensed way, we did a few weeks, which this year we're not really doing. But at the end of which, we actually came up upon our 20th anniversary. It was a long time ago that we started. We've been friends for forever. But I was born and with a bone condition. I have weak bones, and I broke my legs a lot when I was a teenager, actually right before we met Glenn. And then right as I was recovering from that, we started the band. And so there were like these two halves of my life. And last year when we got back together to do some shows, I was trying to figure out a way to help out the people with the same condition that I do. And there is an organization called the OI Foundation. So I auctioned off my drum set on our 20th anniversary on eBay, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, what'd you get? Did you get a good check for it?
Yeah, they were happy with it. I was happy with it. It's really cool.
Are you in touch with the guy who owns them? Do you talk?
Yeah, we ended up being friends. He lives near LA, and we jam sometimes. He's offered me the use of my kit whenever I need it, which is nice.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Very cool.
But it's his kit, and I'm moving on.
That's awesome.
You guys, your harmonies are so sweet. I love the sound of your band, and because you've been together for so long, 20 years now, and you've heard one another so long, do you ever get back to just that sweet time when you heard it for the first time of how you sound together? Do you ever hear it that fresh like we do when you come back into our lives?
And there's moments that having long breaks, kind of coming in and not doing it all the time, makes it more like that. I mean, it's the strange thing about music is you don't. I mean, we were never very career-oriented when we started out. It was strictly, high school, hang out, get together, and things just kind of happened for us. And so it's been, you know, the last few shows, even this actually was a really nice, like, God, we're tight today. We were that tight. And we played this show in Chicago a couple of weeks ago that was just, it felt great. And so there are these moments where, you know, some days it's work and some days, yeah, it's really surprising how you know, it gets back to being just pure fun.
As a listener, these great old songs have a transformative power where it always takes me back to a certain time in my career and my life. Does it work the same way for you sometimes up on stage, to where you go back to when you wrote it?
Gosh, there are times when I can step out of the playing and just listen to what we're doing and just think to myself, God, that was really, really good. And I'll just, you know, look back at Randy and Glenn and Todd and just know that, you know, whatever, like, they're just going to be there for these cues and these dynamics. It's just so wonderful to rely on that and have it come off so well that it just makes you tingle a little bit.
To me, the thing that's amazing is that, I mean, I've really moved away, not intentionally, I mean, not on purpose, but I'm not a part of this scene anymore. And to come back to it like we are, it's amazing to come into a radio station and have people there that are cheering to hear songs that we're playing.
I bet
and
it
to
feels
play,
good.
I mean, that to me is the thing that I think we appreciate the most, is that after years, we haven't put a record out in forever, and we can play a show and people are there to hear these songs, and it's just a real blessing. It's just a real gift that these people give us, and our appreciation for that, I think, has probably increased 1,000-fold.
We thank you guys for coming by and talking to us today. It was a pleasure to hear the music again and catch up on some memories, and continued success in your solo endeavors as well. Toad the Wet Sprocket hanging out with us in the studio today at KINK.FM.